Chapter 49 Hero. The whole bar is watching the group in hijinks. The pseudo-wedding picture is complicated, and the flowers borrowed from the wedding chapel are placed on the table. Jason proposes a toast. To the couple. No, to heroes. Heroes, they toast, but not knowing why. Is that for us, for daring to photograph? No, Benny once famously fought off a mugger, Hunter reveals, a true hero. The team make him feel special. He is the center of attention for good reason, rather than because he's in a chair. Others in the bar have joined in. Sally cuddles up beside him. So, Benny, does your todger still work? She says out loud, and those near enough to hear her laugh. Sally, her team reprimand her. She can unload embarrassment on anyone. Just asking, I'm interested, Sally says. No worries, good question. Wish more girls would ask. It does, but my legs don't work. I'm paralyzed from the waist down, Benny says. This thing won't tip over, will it? Sally asks. No, you're perfectly safe. She hugs him. It's capable of carrying a hell of a lot more weight than you and me. The team's cameras flash, but they are snapping guests near and far, those looking and those hiding. Hunter and Jason direct the cunning shooting when they think someone has escaped the lens. When it calms down, the group surround the table and drink. Okay, guys, we need one last set of photos. Outside, the Paul's Sundown Bar, Hunter explains. Jason guessed Hunter would squeeze all he could. That's the cottaging area, Bill says. I'm not dressed for it. My shirt would be a beacon. Hunter realizes that the young team know that the area has its secrets. Riddles have not yet been shared, and the reason is yet another puzzle to unfold. First, the bar that Kirshner was in needs to be recorded and added into the mix of evidence. I'll do it, Sally says, getting off the scooter. I'll be waiting for you, Benny is quick to say in jest. Snap everyone out there, even warriors who are standoffish. Stay safely hidden at a distance. Use a long lens. I'll start above us, at the other end of the sun terrace looking back, Sally says. And she's off before anyone can volunteer to join her. The other photographers sit back and enjoy their drinks, although the shy ones, Kusei and Michael, seem keen to get away. Lighten up, guys. You're on a cruise ship. Drinks are on me. Benny leans into Hunter. I had an idea. Did Lau tell you? No, I haven't seen him. The 7 deadly sins. Benny starts, grinning. Deadly sins? You got it. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, Benny ensues. It all adds up. Explain, Hunter asks, and everyone is looking at Benny as he drives his scooter closer to the table. Lust was Kirshner down at the cottages. You got that now. Gluttony was Donna McGovern, the large lady on the sun terrace. Harsh, Hunter says. Pride, I reckon, was Bogdan. You could see his pride by the way he played the saxophone, especially his solo show. Wrath is you two guys. They went for Kieran, but watch yourself. How about Eric? Where does he fit in? Hunter asks. I've not got it all worked out yet, but maybe Sloth at the bar 24/7. There's a lot of evidence you've not seen, Hunter suggests. To be fair, not much, Jason adds. There is, Jason. You don't see it all. And does it tell a story? Data always tells a story, Benny says, genuinely interested. Jason is still unconvinced that either of them knows where they are going. Hunter wants to convert him. He wants Jason to feel what he is doing has a meaning. Listen to the musicians. The songs change, but the musicians use familiar runs and phrases. That's the artist's signature. Kieran explained that to me just after the captain told us all crew have habitual routes around the ship. Serial killers have a signature. We have a serial killer? Bill asks. I didn't mean to shout it for the bar to hear. Sorry. Yes, Benny is onto something. He's kinda latched on to a note left on the first night, Hunter says. What note? Benny asks, with the photographers all listening carefully to the exchange. Guys, you're all in the team, but you can't share this knowledge outside, right? They all nod in agreement. There was a quote from Lawrence of Arabia. I saw that film, Kusei says. Boy, you must have been bored, Bill adds. I was. Lust. Homosexuality was a huge part of the Lawrence character, Benny says, chuffed with himself. What was the note? The book was written during the Arab Revolt against the Ottoman Turks of around 1916. At the start of the book, there's a poem. The quote was from that, Hunter explains. What was it? Benny asks. I can't remember. You can't build us up like that and not tell us, Bill chimes in. It was written in old, complicated English. I would need to read it again, but it was nonsense. Obviously not. What are the 7 pillars of wisdom? Benny asks. I think they're mountain peaks, Hunter explains. An officer enters, interrupting. The captain would like to see you in his quarters, sir. I'll be right along, Hunter says. I was asked to escort you immediately, sir, the officer states. Has there been another body found? I can't say, sir. Hunter is up and following the officer. Sally? Jason gasps, and the team are off too, leaving Benny. Chapter 50. The night is over. Sir, Hunter says, addressing the captain in the bridge, which looks out at the dark, swelling sea. I gave you a lot of rope on my ship, Witowski, but it can't result in deaths, the captain says, very firmly. To be fair, sir, you were getting deaths before we arrived, at the rate of 3 a night, Hunter defends. This is someone you sent on a task, by herself, without the head of security's knowledge. Sally? The captain's confirming nod hits Hunter hard. How? Hunter is shocked. Sally's death is far more personal to him. Initial thoughts are that it is again strangulation. Officer Jenkins is at the crime scene, and I've authorized her and her 2 senior officers to be armed. I don't do that lightly, but we have at least 1 serious killer on board. Sir, that is not a good move. The guns were sent only in case there were terrorists on board, and no doubt for Phillips and me to deploy first. Officer Jenkins thinks there could be a dangerous drug ring on board, and I don't want my officers ill-equipped to defend themselves. It's not drugs. This started after we left Panama, same as your last ship, and that was drugs. And you needed to be armed. She has explained the book to me. We were not armed on the ship. This is totally different. I would appreciate it if you didn't challenge my orders. There is no need to get involved in Ruby's work tonight. I need time to talk with head office. Sir, I've spent many years on ships, most of them as head of security myself. I trained her. You trained her well, and I will share all her findings with you and Dwight Ritter. I would rather you were not running around the ship, sending my crew off on duties that none of us has any knowledge of. That's unfair, sir. I was put on the ship to find a killer, not take a back seat. You were put on my ship so the current crew did not have to get involved, and you have been doing the opposite. You have been using them. It's not about drugs, sir. It's about sex. You're guessing, Witowski. I was not happy with the trap you set at my medical center, and I asked for it to be closed. Sally's death hits extremely hard. That's what the killer wants. We were getting close. He's divisive. I don't think any of us know what this killer wants. Let Ruby run things for a day. The murder is what I'm here for. You were never trained as a detective, were you, Witowski? What do you mean, sir? You were head of cruise ship security, just like Jenkins. No, sir. I'm not like Ruby. I spent many years with the CIA, finding killers far worse than the one you have on this ship. But this is different. Serial killers kill until someone stops them. And the more they get away with it, the more they will show off. Ruby has never dealt with a killer, sir. You're excused, Witowski. Stay away from the crime scene. Chapter 51. Off Duty. Hunter enters the crow's nest and finds Benny withdrawn and in shock. Let's walk, Hunter demands almost rudely. Benny drives out behind him to the stairwell where a lift is waiting. They both enter and Hunter presses 5, the promenade deck. You know it's far too rough and windy to walk outside. The promenade deck is closed, Benny says softly. We can walk inside. The lift arrives, unstopped. Little is happening around the ship as it approaches midnight. At this juncture of a world cruise, the guests have explored every part of the ship, and it has become home. Unless there is a reason to stay out, they will be in bed or watching television. As a long cruise progresses, Roy Stevens has a problem. The per-head spend on a ship starts to drop, but his targets don't. She's dead, isn't she? Benny eventually asks, as they get to the art gallery section. There's not one person, guest, or staff in sight. Hunter stops to look at a set of 3 paintings of a woman. There's a young artist back at our office, name's Macy. I know she wants to see her work sold on a ship, sold anywhere. He stares at the pictures. The colors are dark, Benny says. Why is the girl walking away? Just glancing back. She's watching us, Benny says. Sally is looking back from another dimension, trying to tell us what only she knows. She was a smart kid. Funny, her murder was spiteful, Benny says. She would have been almost alone on that deck. No one would have been out there apart from a few guys looking for kicks. No one else would have risked the weather, Hunter muses. The smokers, Benny replies automatically. They go outside in any weather. You smoke? I have enough medical problems. She was a nice girl. It's hard to consider her life being cut so short. Did someone follow her out? No, look. Benny offers a sketch of the bar. I mapped this out just after the photograph session. I like maps. I like detail. I tried to tick the ones still there when you left. I knew something was up. If someone was trying not to be seen, you could have missed them. Maybe, but I'm good at looking at things. What else have I got to do? More guests arrived, but no one left before you did. That means no one left with Sally. Benny studies the paintings. These 3 pieces all have the signature of the same painter. I don't mean his autograph, I mean his thoughts. I can see it, Hunter says, his finger drifting to the artist's name. There is something about all the killings that should lead us to one person. The captain is panicked. I understand why, but he's wrong. Why? What has he done? Benny asked. Armed his security team? With guns? Hunter nods. Yeah, the killer has never used a weapon, except on Donna. Why kill Donna with a weapon? Benny asks. Hunter's face lights up. Benny, that is a touch of brilliance. Won't save Sally, though, Benny says, fixed on the picture. No, but we're looking for a killer who's capable of strangling someone with their bare hands. But he used a weapon with Donna because she had to be kept silent with one hand. He can't strangle with a single hand. Tomorrow, Benny, you can study the boards with us. I can't sleep now. Bed is where you think best. I'll think about Sally. I don't want to be alone. Hunter looks at him and can see he needs a friend. Can you sleep on a sofa? Hunter asks. Benny nods. How about guarding Kira? He'll have been moved to his own room by now.